Welcome to Java Programming from Codebay. In this video, we'll discuss about the built-in data types that are supported by Java programming language. Java supports two types of data types. They are primitive data types and reference data types. Primitive data types are classified into integer data type, character data type, float data type, Boolean data type. The reference data types are of two types. They are objects and arrays. Integer data types are again classified into four types. They are byte, short, int, and long. In character data type, we have only one data type, that is char. In float data type, we have two data types. They are float and double. In Boolean data type, it supports only one data type, that is Boolean. Now let's look into the integer data types. The size of byte is 1 byte. The size of short is 2 bytes. The size of integer data type is 4 bytes. The size of long is 8 bytes. Here we can also see the range of the respective data types. The syntax for defining a variable. Whenever we want to define a variable, we need to follow the identifier rules, right? They should not start with any other symbol other than underscore and currency sign, that is dollar. They should start with a character. They should not start with the number. These are the rules that we should remember when we are naming any of the variable. And the syntax for defining the variable is data type followed by variable name. As this is a statement, all the statements to be terminated by semicolon. This is the syntax for defining the variable. And for example, if I need to define the variable of type int, then I use the int data type and my variable name is a. This statement is called declaration. Here I am only declaring the variable a equal to 10, and this is called assignment. Here I am assigning the value to the variable a. In Java programming language, the memory for the variables will be created only when you are assigning a value. If the value is not assigned, then the memory for the variables will not be created. And I can also write both of them in a single step. Int b is equal to 25. This kind of statement is called both declaration and assignment. And the values that are directly assigned to the variable are called literals. Here 10 is a literal, 25 is a literal. In the statement 45 is a literal because this is the value that is directly assigned to the variable. The values that are directly assigned to the variables are called literals. What kind of values can be assigned to the integer data type? For the integer data type or the integer variable, you can assign decimal values. That is any number. 45 is your decimal value. 127 is your decimal value. Next, octal values. The values that start with 0 are called octal value. Here 12 is an octal value because it's starting with 0. Any number that's starting with 0, that starts with 0, are called octal values. Next, hexadecimal values. Any number that starts with 0x, either it is a small x or capital X, any number that starts with 0x, that is considered as an hexadecimal value. Decimal is a 10 base number, octal is a 8 base number, and hexadecimal is a 16 base number. So anything 2, B, D, all these are considered as hexadecimal values. Now let's look into the programming or the execution of integer data types. This is a class with the name data types. This is the main method, which is called as an entry point. The signature of the entry point should be the same. It has to be a static method. It has to be a public method. The return type of the method should be void, and it has to be a parameterized method, which is taking an one-dimensional array of type string as a parameter. byte f is equal to 45. This is a decimal value. Short b is equal to 045. As it is starting with 0, it is considered as an octal value. Int c is equal to 4x, sorry, int c is equal to 0x45. So this becomes your hexadecimal value because it's starting with 0x. Any number that starts with 0x that is considered as a 16 base number, that is an hexadecimal value. Long d is equal to again 0x2a. This is also considered as an hexadecimal value. Now, how do we represent the hexadecimal values? In hexadecimal representation, we have the numbers. This will be the chart. So from 1 to 9, we have the numbers from 1 to 9, which are equal to 1 is equal to 1, the same case, and 9 will be equal to 9. But after 9, we'll have A, B, C, D till F, E, and F. And A is represented by 10, A is equal to 10, B is equal to 11, C equal to 12, D equal to 13, E equal to 14, and F equal to 15. And then again continues with 1, 0, 1, 1. So 10 is equal to 16, 11 equal to 17, and so on. This would be the chart. So when we are representing 10 in the form of hexadecimal value, we should represent it 0x10. If I want to represent 17 in an hexadecimal value, then I should need to represent 0x11. This is how we represent the hexadecimal values. How do we convert an hexadecimal value into an decimal value, and how do we understand that? Assume that my hexadecimal value is 0x2a. So 0x is the notation of the hexadecimal value. So finally, my number will be 2a. And this number I need to convert into its equivalent decimal value. Whenever you need to convert any particular hexadecimal value or an octal value in order to its equivalent decimal value, we need to multiply the digit into its base number with the power of the position of the number. That is, now the position of A is 0 and the position of 2 is 1. Now this is an hexadecimal number, so we need to multiply the number with its base. It's a 16 base number with the power of its a position of the digit. What is the position of the digit of 2? It's 1. So into 16 to the power of 1 plus A. What is the value of A in hexadecimal value? It's 10 into what is the base of it? 16. And what is the position of it? 0. So the sum of the multiples of the numbers with its base will give you its equivalent number. So 2 into 16, that will be 32 plus 10. This will be equivalent to 42. So if I want to represent 42 in hexadecimal value, this will be my value. This is how we convert any hexadecimal value to its equivalent decimal value. Now let's look into the execution of the program and understand the different kinds of errors and the output that we get. This is the file. Sorry. I am saving it in the drive D in a folder called YouTube and in another folder called session program. I'm trying to execute with the help of command prompt, so I'm not using any IDE. Now I'm opening the command prompt. It is present in D drive. It is present in a folder called YouTube. It is present in another folder called session program. Now I need to compile the code. In order to compile the code, I need to use the tool called JavaC, and my name of the file is data types, not the class. My name of the file is data type. So I need to type data types. I need to compile the source code, that is javac datatypes.java. I am executing the code. In order to execute the code, I use the tool called Java with the class name. What is my class name? My class name is data types. So now let's look into the compare the output. What are the values that I'm printing? B, C, D. The value of B is 45, that is an octal value. Then how do we convert the octal value into its equivalent decimal value? What is the value that we have? 045, and it's an 8 base number. So we need to multiply every digit with its base to the power of the position. So 5 is in 0th position, 4 is in first position. So 4 into 8 to the power of 1 plus 5 into 8 to the power of 0. So 8 into 4, that is 32, plus 5, that is equal to 37. Now next number, C. I'm printing the value of C. The value that is 0x45. This is 16 base number. So 4 into 16 to the power of 1 plus 5 into 16 to the power of 0. 16 into 4, that is 64, plus 5, that is equal to 69. So this is how we need to convert. Is it important for us to convert to understand this, the conversion of hexadecimal value to an decimal value? Only when you are going through the certification exams. For example, this particular value is something called 9, 0x95, and I'm assigning to a byte. Byte B is equal to 0x95. So this will be the out of range. The byte cannot hold this large value, so it will raise you an error. Only in such cases, you need to understand the minimum conversion. So when you are going for the certification exams like OCJP or OCJD, this will be helpful for you. And the last value, 0x2A. So this is the hexadecimal. The position of this is 1, the position of A is 0, and this is a 16 base number. So 2 into 16 to the power of 1, the value of A is 10. So either it may be capital A and uppercase A, or it may be lowercase a. They are case sensitive in this case. So all the values will be the same, 16 to the power of 0. So 2 into 16, that is 32, plus 10, that is equal to 42. So for the integer values, the literals can be octal, the literals can be hexadecimal values, or the literals can be decimal values. Now, let's look into the other errors that we come across. All the variables which are defined inside a block. Now, these are the variables which we have defined in a method block. The variables defined within a block are called as local variables. So F, B, C, D are called local variables. Now, even the variable A belongs to this particular block. So even A is called as local variable. Now, I'm using the variable with the same name. Now, both the variables are having the same name. I'm saving the code and I'm trying to recompile it. Here I got an error. Variable B is already defined in method main. That means you cannot have multiple variables with the same name and with the same scope. Scope in the sense the visibility of the variable. The variable B is visible only within the block main. It is not visible. It cannot be accessed outside this block. So that is defined as a scope. So multiple local variables cannot have the same name, or the multiple variables cannot have the same name with the same scope. So this will raise you an error. Now, can I assign a character value? So how are the characters denoted? Characters are denoted with an single quotes. Now I'm assigning the character value to the byte variable C. Sorry, again there's an hexadecimal value which is now multiple variables are with the same name. So I'm changing the variable name and I'm recompiling it. You can see the error. It's telling you in the line number 1, sorry, line number 7, variable C is already defined. So I'm just clearing the screen first and then again I'm compiling. It is not raising you any compilation error. That means even for the integer data types, character literals can also be assigned. So even you just check, can I also assign the Unicode values for the integer data types? So if I print F, what is the value that I get? We get its equivalent Unicode value. No, 99. Its Unicode value or ASCII value, that is 99. Integer data types can be assigned with decimal values. They can be assigned with octal values. They can be assigned with hexadecimal values, and they can also be assigned with character values. When we're talking about any octal family, 8 and 9, they are not part of the octal family. So what will happen if I assign a value starting 08 or 09? Then that will raise you an error. Why? Because 08 cannot be converted to its equivalent decimal value. 8 is not a family of an octal number. Integer number too large. Why? Because 8 is not part of an octal number. So 08 cannot be converted to its equivalent decimal value. That is the reason we get this error. So same case with 9 also, as 9 is also not part of octal family. This will also raise you an error. What will happen if I print 010? So it will print its equivalent decimal value. What is the equivalent decimal value of 010? That is 8. 010. The position of 0 is 0. The position of 1 is 1. And this is an 8 base number. So 1 into 8 to the power of 1 plus 0 into 8 to the power of 0. So this is equivalent to 0 plus 8. So this will print you 8. Now, the last point that you need to understand with respect to integer data types is now here as I'm assigning a certain value which is not in the range of a long. What is the size of int? Size of int is 4 bytes. Size of long is 8 bytes. That means it must be able to hold the range of numbers which are not sufficient or which cannot be stored in integer data types. It must be long data type, must be able to store the numbers which cannot be stored in integer data type. So this is the number that I'm trying to store in long. I've saved the number, save the file. Now I'm trying to compile the code. So what is the error that we got? Integer number too large. So still this is considering it as an integer number. Why? Because by default, every value will be considered as integer data type only, and only 4 bytes of memory will be allocated in this case. So if you want the compiler to consider it as a long literal, we need to suffix with capital L or small l. You need to suffix with capital L or small l. Now, whenever compiler finds this capital L as a suffix for the literal, then it will treat it as a long literal and it will allocate with 8 bytes of memory. So whenever you want to assign the number which is larger than the range of integer data types, they have to be suffixed with capital L in order to treat it as a long literal and allocate the memory with 8 bytes of memory. Otherwise, only 4 bytes of memory will be allocated. Now the program has been successfully compiled. That means now it is not considering as an integer literal. Now this value, whatever the value that we have passed to an variable D, that is considered as a long literal. And I'm executing the code. This is with respect to your integer data types.